Good morning. Did a few adjustments. Guillermo and I are going to take you through and show you around, but this is an update to the video I put out last week, and I want to show you the changes I made, and along the way I'll give you an update on all the plants that are in the pots. Well, the first thing you just might notice is I put lights underneath the bench. If you can see them, Guillermo's headed that way. See? See the lights down there? I got lights underneath there. I got that idea watching the guy who overwinters petunias, and he used an office that had a desk that he wasn't using, and he looked at that and he put lights underneath so he has a double-decker growing room. And so that's what I've been working towards. And eventually all those containers that are in underneath there and those containers down there, those aren't mine. Those are my daughter's, and she is moving, and so those containers are going to end up going to her. And so I think I have room for 2 more lights under here. At least one that way. Yeah, I think so. One on each end. So I can have a double decker all the way. But that was the biggest, that was huge. And I crawled back in there, and you can kind of see some of the caulk back there is still drying. It'll turn clear, but I crawled in underneath and did all that yesterday. And down under here I screwed in those tall skinny pieces I had stuck in the corner. They were the perfect fit to finish off the bottom, so I got that installed. And the chairs, I took the chairs out, I took the racks out. It was just too crowded in here. But what I also noticed is the sun wasn't hitting the plants. And I went, isn't the whole purpose of having this thing is so that they benefit from the sun and the grow lights? So, forgive me, I had to cough. Yes, sir, Guillermo. Yeah, they love to crawl around. Here, let me go back over here. I removed the chairs, and I set everything down. My husband suggested that I put things down like on a 2x4 and let air move underneath, and sure enough, you put your hand down there, you can feel the air moving. So he says that will help keep everything more balanced, and it's working. So I got that done day before yesterday, and it just cleaned up really nice. I decided just to line the water bottles up there because I'm having to fill. I use, well, 2, 4, 6, probably 8 right there in between those 2 posts. I'll use that one day a week. So I'm constantly rotating out the bottles, and I'm tired of trying to hide them and tuck them away and make it look pretty. It looks pretty right there. It's reflecting the light, and why not? So, easy peasy. Okay, let's do the plant identification, and you'll see the rest of it a little more detailed. Okay, back here, experiment. That is celery and marjoram. The oregano didn't make it. I always have a hard time with oregano. And those are 3 or 4 carrots that are left. I brought them in from outside. Don't ever do that. If you're going to start carrots, just start them inside, but don't bring them in from the outside, because I believe that is what created. You should have seen the aphid infestation I got in here about 4 days ago. The only thing I had done different was the carrots, and the carrots were covered. So I think that could have been their companion plant role to attract the aphid away, but they got so bad. Don't ever do that. Lesson learned. The celery and the marjoram, I have 2 containers of that. So the experiment that I'm doing is, that is a north window, no direct light. This one, exact same planting, exact same age, came from the exact same location. They get the same water and the same care. This one is directly under light. I don't really see a difference between the two, so I'm encouraged that this one can tolerate low light, and they'll do fine. over yonder here. This is all new to me. You know, I told you I've got a tank down here. You can see, and the water just drains. Hi, Caramel. Caramel's rubbing the phone. Just drains right in there. There's the hose and all. Caramel, you're not helping. And then it just kind of runs through. You can't really see the water running, but it's in there. Caramel. And then these little cups, look at the water. And it's got the root cube in the bottom, and then I put a few little pebbles. A few little pebbles in to maybe give the plant a little bit more support. Maybe the roots will expand up. See? But they go down in, and I have mesclun blend lettuces, green leaf, not sure what else I got stuck into these ones. I don't really care if they're mixed and matched. It'll be pretty no matter what. I'm just going to eat it. And then in the seed trays over here, let me show you. Like if you look in there, you see the root cubes and those little sprouts in there. Those are going to start getting, I just pull the cube out, stick it in the cup, put a little gravel, stick it into every other hole over here. I'll probably not, if I need to, I can take this out, but if I go all the way back, every other hole, there's 72, so what's that, 36 plants going in there. So it'll take some time. Here we are. I added I forgot I had this little painting out in my garage, and one of the things about it that's special to me is the dragonfly. But dragonflies and irises are my thing, so that makes a really pretty background there for me. I hung up those pull down shades. You see? Found the hardware in a bag I bought for 50 cents at a junk store. This is a nasturtium. It's at least 8 months old, maybe close to a year now, and it just had a little struggle because it was in a place it didn't like. I just moved it here. Rosemary, all these rosemary and thyme and everything were all harvested in November, and they went a little dormant for a little bit, and then all of a sudden, boom, there's just kicking out that beautiful lush new green. And look at this one. This one is a little bit crazy. This one, you know that cat picture when a cat wakes up in the morning and their hair is all messy that we use on to say good morning to people? That's what this plant reminds me of, is that cat's hair. So I'm going to let it do its thing for a little bit further, a little longer, and then I'm going to give it a good little pruning and give it a little shape. And this is also rosemary. It's starting to do its thing now. And some people think that this thyme is dead, but it is not. If you look in there, it goes through a little phase after you trim it. Keep watering it. Look at all the little green down in there. It's coming back. It's not a problem. And I have, let's see, 4 of them out by my blueberries, the thyme. I just went out there day before yesterday, and I had cut it back to about 2 inches. It's about 6 inches tall right now. Beautiful purple leaves, and it smells amazing. So I'm just going to leave it alone and wait and see how it does for the winter. I don't know if I should harvest it at this time of the year, so I'm just going to let it go. Meanwhile, I have all kinds of thyme in here. This is basil, and in the pot with it, there is an old pepper. I don't know if it's going to make it ever again. It's tried 3 times. And I have some assorted lettuce of some sort. When I got done with the root cubes, sometimes I'll have a couple of seeds on my hand, so I just drop them in a pot. If they come up, they come up. Basil, just cut that back about 6 inches a few days ago. Another basil, did the same thing, gave it a good haircut. Celery. Now what I do with the celery, okay, see in the middle? Okay, see right there in the middle? There's a new plant. I just come out here and I cut off, pinch off the outside like that. And so like making stuffing or chicken soup, or you know, where you use your lettuce leaves, I just come out and grab a few of them and perk it back up after I'm done molesting it. Sorry, lack of a better word. And here I have marjoram and pinch. I gotta give this one a haircut. It's got flowers on it. I can't do that right now. And this basil is struggling a little bit. I don't know why, but I might have to move it to a different spot. And here is blackberry roots, and I don't know if these are going to do anything. And I'll show you why I'm concerned in a second. This one here though, it looks like it is just fine because its stem is still green. So even if I get one, I'm okay, but there's 3 or 4 in here. These are sent to me by my mom in December. And then she also sent me a lollieberry root. Now a lollieberries is a hybrid from California. Look, see how the sun's hitting everybody? It's already coming in. Let me back up. There's the morning sun coming in. This will be the 4th, if not 5th attempt to grow a lollieberries. Here, I said they're a hybrid. They're a California plant. Huge berries, the size of the end, their last joint on your thumb, just huge. And there is not enough time here in South Dakota for them to get their roots and everything established and really thrive. So this time I told her, I said, I'm going to put them in a pot inside, get them going, get them a good sized plant, leave them in the pot, dig a hole in the ground, set the whole pot into the hole, and then I'll just lift the pot out in the fall before the freeze, and then give it a prune back, bring it inside, and then overwinter them one more winter. By then, maybe they should have a good root ball. They'll be getting acclimated to our area, and just maybe I can get these babies to go. But we'll see. I'm just kind of excited because they are absolutely beautiful. These tomatoes got hit in the aphid attack, and they were just little babies. I pruned everything back. They may not make it. I don't know. But if they don't, it's not a big deal, because I also have some lettuce seeds and things like that in these pots. So no matter what, they're already having a purpose. And if you look at this one, he's got a new leaf on it. So they're not dead. They're just bald. So we'll see what happens. This is a geranium. This one is, I can't remember if it's 3 or 4. I lose track. Maybe I should put a number on the pot or a date when I planted it, but this one at least 3 years old. And this is another one, same year, same color, red. This is Swiss chard. I know there is a yellow one in here. The cat stepped on it. Yellow and red and a green, and no idea what that is. It could be a zinnia. No idea. Just started on its own. Oh, I better back up. The other thing, like I said, I moved everything down onto the floor the other day after I did my last video, and it was important that everything got more sun when it comes in the windows. And so as the sun goes by, it does well. So now I'm mumbling. Apologize for that. This is mint it's in its final spot. There, nasturtium, a marigold, some lettuce seeds and stuff, and it could be beets too, for all I remember. And this is a tomato plant. I think this one is a Sweet 1000. Has multiple blooms. It already got its, I'll give it a little. All I have to do is do that, hit the string, it'll pollinate. Oh, here we go. It's not a Sweet 1000. It is a yellow pear. There's the babies. Let's go this way. Little babies. So I should have some more soon. And who knows what kind of tomato that's going to be. It's just like the randomness of it all. And then I went out and I picked up onion things that I had in the yard. Those will sprout eventually. See this one here? Got a little green fruit right on the end. And there's lettuce seed in there, and I know there's cilantro and all kinds of stuff. Everybody needs a little drinky poo this morning. We obviously know that this one's a weed. Don't care. It's green. I'm letting it grow for now. And I have an onion shooting out there, and there's little things sprouting up in there. This is my eggplant. The eggplant almost died. The aphid attack almost got it, but if you look real close, it's got all kinds of new babies. This big, she's not dead. And this thyme isn't dead either. It's just in this it's just in a transition. And then this tomato, it grew in one of these lavender pots, and I accidentally pulled it out a couple of days ago. And so, because I forgot to untie the string, and I pulled it right out of the pot. So I stuck it in with the eggplant, and they're a good companion plant. And then if you look in there, there's all kinds of little seeds and stuff sprouting in there too. I know that there's beets in there, and a couple of other lettuce seeds. Forgive me. Another rosemary. My friend Alexa, this is the Alexa basket, because she gave me this, and she gave me this beautiful opal basil, and it has had it's temperamental to me. But then again, when I look at it, it's doing the same thing that the other ones do. So maybe it's just a life cycle thing for a basil plant. And this is lavender. And it's got all kinds of new little green in it. I just need to do a little bit of homework and study a little bit more about how to prune it, and whether I should take all those dry things, the dry lavender off. I know I want the flowers, so I just want to study a little more before I trim anything. Maybe I just need to let it go and let it do its thing. It could be that easy. But I got everything down on the ground, down on the floor. It's much, much brighter in here. And I have mini blinds. And all the new light. Look at that. Isn't that awesome? It's just awesome. So glad to show you the update. Have a fantastic day. Bye.